Welcome to Bravetheadventuresss. I'm Rob.
And I'm Hayley.
What we thought would be quite nice to do just as we head into Christmas and into the new year is just have a little bit of a recap of what we've done this year. Thank you as always for subscribing, liking our content. We really do appreciate it. We've had some excellent visits to parks over the year. Hayley, what would be your highlight?
Yeah, I mean, there's many to choose from, and we're going to go through our kind of highlight and any lowlights of those parks this year. But for me, kind of overall highlight would definitely be getting to Efteling.
Yeah, absolutely. Efteling was amazing. We had 3 days there. Even the trip across on the ferry was really good fun as well. It was really sad to come back. If you've not seen our part 2 video, you can see quite how sad we are as we head back to Hull on the North Sea ferry. But we had an amazing time. It was my first trip back to Efteling since I was 9 years of age. Somewhere I've always wanted to go back to, so having the opportunity to do so was absolutely amazing to see that park again.
Yeah, and for me as a first time park, it's lovely to see parks that you've not been to before, and that one was definitely one to not be missed. So yeah, a really key highlight. And obviously outside of Efteling, we've been fortunate enough to visit loads of parks, and we've loved bringing you along for the first year of our channel, and we've been really just blown away by the comments and the positivity that we've received from the channel. We're still learning, so do be patient with us. But if this is your first visit to Brave the Adventures, please do consider giving us a subscribe. It would mean an awful lot at this time of the year. Let's go back to March, the beginning of the season.
Let's do it. So we started off the season at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I was actually really ill during this trip, if you remember.
You were, and you got iller because you broke your elbow as well during the trip, which we did not capture on video.
A little bit of an accident, a little bit of bad news after Valhalla, when we were running around like idiots and managed to catch the last boat of the day. The last boat of the day doesn't dock in the station, so they made us get out of this grill, which apparently it's a well-rehearsed routine, but yeah, I did fall. I had a bit of an accident. But it's not stopped us, really, has it?
No, and I think it's fair to say it's probably the low part of Blackpool for this year was you hurting yourself. But there were many, many highlights, and we visited our home park of Blackpool Pleasure Beach, I think 7 times this year, which you can see them all on our channel throughout the year, our visits. And I think highlight for me, definitely when we rode Valhalla kind of 9 times in a row. Great. That was absolutely brilliant. And the operations with that were just incredible.
A real low like this year at Blackpool though has been River Caves, which has been standing but not operating. It ran for a couple of days right at the start of the season, so we actually did miss it. And we really missed that ride. There's so much history there. There's been very minimal updates. In fact, there's been no updates from Blackpool Pleasure Beach as to what they're doing with River Caves. So we really do hope that comes back. Alongside the newly refreshed PlayStation Ice Blast, as you call it.
Now Launchpad.
Launchpad. So, operating since I think 1997 has been PlayStation The Ride or Ice Blast. It's an S&S shot tower. Over the years, it's suffered from a lack of thrust, but it's been fully reconditioned for the 2025 season. So I think we're both looking forward to it.
Yeah, we've not ridden on that for quite a few years now, so I'm really looking forward to getting back on that. And obviously I really, at this time of year when the parks are closed, I really miss riding Icon because it makes me just so happy riding that double launch coaster. It's my favourite coaster in the country.
Yeah.
So yeah, great experiences at Blackpool this year, and we've just renewed our pass, and we cannot wait to take you along for more adventures there next year. And then we've obviously done some of the Merlin passes this year, so Merlin Parks on our Merlin passes this year. Alton Towers, we've visited quite a number of times. For me, highlight of Alton Towers this year, I think has probably been either the return of Hex, which has been great to have back. We haven't had it back for long yet, but it has been a really welcomed return back to the park. And I've also really enjoyed getting back onto Wicker Man a lot this year, and also Spinball Wizard, which is actually one of my favourite family coasters, having a single queue ride. Single queue line, my goodness, I've been on the mulled wine today. Single queue line fit in later on this year was really, really useful.
So good. And also, one thing I've missed out on this year was Hyperion at Thorpe Park, so the UK's tallest and fastest roller coaster you have ridden on?
I have. I've ridden it 3 times. Absolutely loved it. I've not had a front or a back row ride on Hyperia yet, so that's something I'm really looking forward to, and I can't wait to take you along to that at Thorpe Park next year. So lots going on at the Merlin Parks. There have been some challenges this year with the Merlin Parks that I have been quite disappointed with. Operations have really not been great this year. We've seen a lot of downtime on rides, a lot of rides closed. Not always great communication. Obviously, really sad to see that the blade is going to be removed without warning as well. It's one of my children's absolute favourite go-to because they're not quite big enough to ride Nemesis, my youngest child. So blade is our go-to in that area of the park. So to see it removed without warning is a little bit sad. And I do hope that over this winter period, Alton Towers in particular are going to be looking at their kind of ride ops and just giving us a better experience for next year.
Yeah, they really do need to take it back to the heyday, I think, of the mid-90s. It's a shame kind of what's happened to the park. But fingers crossed things will get better in 2025. So our first trip in 2025 is going to be Blackpool Pleasure Beach again, as we said, and we're staying in the Boulevard Hotel this time, which we're really, really excited about. Hopefully we'll get River Caves back as well, so that'll make the trip even more special. But for me, I'm really looking forward to riding Valhalla. We know it's going to be cold, we know it's going to be freezing.
But we'll do it.
But we'll do it, and we'll do it again and again and again. So we really can't wait for that.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back there, and really looking forward to experiencing the Boulevard Hotel, and we'll obviously do a room review for that in March for you as well. We've been so fortunate to stay in some lovely hotels this year as part of our theme park stays. The Big Blue is always a favourite of ours to stay in at Blackpool, but also the hotel we stayed in that I'm going to let you pronounce at Efteling.
The Cartcheval, I've not
Guest
pronounced
house.
that right, so apologies. But the Cartcheval guest house in Guesting was really, really nice as well. And it was really, really reasonable. We got a really good deal there.
I would say that's probably my favourite hotel that we stayed in this year, actually, because it was really, really lovely.
And just a 10-minute walk from the park as well, free parking.
Yeah, everything about that was just great. It really made it just an absolutely magical trip. So we can't wait to take you with us for our adventures next year. We visited some smaller parks as well this year. We had a visit over to my nearest park, which is Wicksteed Park, and I think a real highlight for both of us was being able to take our 4-legged friends along with us. It's a very dog-friendly park, so do check. So Miley
agrees.
Really agrees. Do check that video out if you haven't already, and you are somebody who both likes theme parks and dogs as well. And then we'll be looking for obviously other parks to visit. Are you okay?
So yeah.
We'll be obviously taking you along for more adventures next year, doing a lot more kind of comparisons of different parks and looking at what our favourite things are. We can't wait to take you along. Please share with your friends, your family. We'd love to double our subscriber numbers into the next year, so we need your help for that.
We do. So, as we head off into Christmas and into the new year, we'd like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and do come along and play the adventures with us in 2025. Bye!
Bye!